Imagine a road trip where every turn uncovers ancient legends, breathtaking landscapes, and epic adventures. That's Northern Ireland's coastal route. Hey, I'm Sarah from Travels with Sarah Faye, helping you find adventure every day around the world. Join me as I drive from Belfast to Derry Londonderry, chasing history, wellness, and unforgettable experiences along this iconic journey. Let's hit the road. We arrived to Belfast, the city that built the Titanic, the city known for famous black cap tours, and I was excited to be staying in the center of it all at the historic yet luxury setting of the Titanic Hotel, one of the top hotels in Northern Ireland. The concierge here was so lovely and gave us a tour of the property before checking in.
I'm going to give you a little history about the generally of the hotel, then we'll go into the real history of the building.
Oh, okay.
So where you are now at the moment, the Titanic Hotel is situated inside the original headquarters of Harland and Wolff Shipyard.
Oh, okay.
This is their main offices, main technical drawing offices, administration, and senior management and owners. So what we have here, this is known as Drawn Office 1. This is our main function room. The attitude of business here in Belfast, that we needed to have large permanent offices. So we have these office 2. Also above us we have our levels, which our bedrooms are 1, 2 and 3 floors. They were also technical drawing offices at one stage.
The Titanic Hotel in Belfast is a stunning blend of history and luxury located in the original headquarters of the Harland and Wolff Shipyard where the Titanic was built. With its nautical-inspired design and rich maritime heritage, staying here offers a truly unique experience that connects you to the city's legendary past.
So what we have is Lord Perry forward-thinking, the 5-ship idea. He's known for a long time that there's more ships starting to appear and the world is travelling. So it's only a matter of time before they get bigger. So we need to be ready for that. Not just wait for the order to come in, we need to have this shipyard physically ready, everything in place. So he starts with the board of directors and Mr. Harland, Mr. Wolff, explaining to them his ideas, and they go for it, basically. At the very end of this road, there's a large dry dock built. At the time, it was the largest dry dock in the world, basically. So here we have Mr. Ismay with a pot of gold. So he contacts Lord Perry. Lord Perry lived in London as well. He had a large house there, which is now the Spanish Embassy. And Mr. Ismay and Lord Perry meet one Sunday over dinner. That is the birth of the 3 Olympic class of luxury liner, which is the Olympic, the Titanic, and also Britannic. There were 3 ships. Each one was better than the other. The Britannic didn't have a full life because it was used in the First World War as a hospital ship and it was sank in the Mediterranean. So we have the Olympic and we have the Titanic. The Titanic is the one that's always in the middle, catches everyone's imaginations because it improved from the Olympic and it was there's never been a ship like it basically since that. This is the entrance here. Now the only people allowed to come through these doors here would be the likes of Mr. Harland, Mr. Wolff, the Lord Perrys of this world, all those type of guys. Those purchasing ships, lords and ladies, kings and queens, that's the only people allowed to come in through those doors. Members of staff would have come into the side door down here, where there would have been a time office. Information hits Belfast, tell Lord Perry the Titanic has struck an iceberg. That meant the young girl who worked in there as a runner, she had to come out and walk along this line here, travel in through those doors there, and go left.
Next, we headed across the street to visit the Titanic Experience, a journey into the heart of one of history's most famous tragedies. Alrighty guys, we're here at the Titanic Belfast. They recently did a £4 million renovation and update, so I'm really excited to see it. I came here years ago, and as soon as you walk in, there's a beautiful experience. And now let's go on and begin our experience to Titanic Belfast. The immersive museum takes you through the ship's creation, its fateful voyage, and its lasting legacy, offering a powerful and emotional insight into the Titanic story. So now we're on the wood planks to basically share with you how they would build it, and they had no health and safety regulations, so there were people that died every time they built a ship. 8 people died when they built the Titanic, and yeah, so it's pretty impressive. As you can see, they would be building it from pretty high up. Alrighty, and now we're about to go on a ride. It will take you through the shipyard and how they built these super impressive ships. The Titanic Museum was definitely eye-opening to see how the people of Belfast truly were the global leaders in maritime innovation. It truly opened the doors for the amazing cruises we have today. It was also interesting to see the exact spot the Titanic ship first sailed from, and through immersive experiences understand what the Titanic experience was like. However, it was also sombering to see how many lives were lost and how many people were affected by this tragedy that possibly could have been prevented. Oh my god, so we've been running from thing to thing. We just finished the Titanic experience here, and now we're gonna go check out the Nomadic, which was the last tender boat that brought people to the Titanic before it sadly sank. Then we're gonna do a black cab tour. After checking in, things are really back to back, but we're trying to do as much as we can with less than 24 hours, honestly, in Belfast before we head along the coastal route to explore everything. We are getting to see as much as we can throughout Ireland, and I love it here anyway, so I'm really excited. We got to see the new Titanic experience after they refurbish it, and now just going to hurry up and eat this sandwich. Alrighty guys, so right now we're about to board the Nomadic, which was the tender to the Titanic. It's just a few steps away from the from the Titanic experience, and this is the last surviving ship of the elite and prestigious White Star fleet, which is pretty interesting that you can come here and board it with your Titanic experience ticket. So let's go and check it out. The SS Nomadic is the last remaining White Star Line ship and is an incredible part of the Titanic history. It's a beautifully restored vessel and once served as the Titanic's tender ferrying passengers to and from the ship. After learning about the history, it was time to stay in it and go check into our hotel and see our room finally at the Titanic Hotel. Alrighty guys, we checked into the Titanic Hotel in Belfast, and this place is so amazing. Plus, I got one of the best views, I think. And you can see right behind me is the Titanic Museum. And not only that, they gave me a nice little welcome gift of some macaroons and fruit. And there's coffee pods here as well, which I love and think is an absolute must when you are in a hotel. Honestly, I love coffee. And I love the bathrobes. There's actually like 2 beds in this room because I'm traveling with my mom. So we each have our own bed. And the bathroom is also really nice as well. Let me show you really quickly. I love the details they put into it because they make it look like you're on a ship with these doors. But you walk in and we have the tiles as well, which make everything very aesthetically pleasing. Honestly, this is so cool. And a rainfall shower. But one thing that's hard to show you is that how high the ceilings are here. It's like very nice. And we have a seating area, TV, and of course the view of the Titanic Museum right in front of us. But as much as I like this room, we gotta head out to do a black cab tour of Belfast, which is an absolute must when you are in the city. Let's go. Next, it was time to head on a famous black cab tour of Belfast. You can book them on Get Your Guide, link down below.
So I'm what you call a blue badge tour guide. So I work for, I'm a driver guide.
Oh, okay.
And, where you are, you're in Belfast. It's not a very big city. Yeah. People say we're compact. We prefer to say we're cozy.
Yeah, cozy.
So the population of Belfast is 330,000 people. Northern Ireland is 1.9 million. About 45% Catholic, who are traditionally the Nationalists and Republicans. They want to be United Ireland. 43% Protestant, traditionally Unionists and Loyalists. They want to maintain the Union, United Kingdom. So the major concern if you're in Protestantism, or the Union side, is written into terms of peace agreement. It states when the majority of people want to be United Ireland, Britain will withdraw. So as the Protestant Unionist population decreases, Catholic national population increases. Peace of concern if you're in Unionism, that their culture and identity is under threat. Presbyterians. Although they were Protestants, they weren't always loyal to Great Britain, because in 1691 the British government had extended their penal laws. Penal laws meant you weren't allowed to practice your religion, you weren't allowed to be educated. Those laws weren't only applied to Catholics, they applied to all non-Anglicans, they applied to Presbyterians as well.
A Black Cap tour in Belfast offers a unique insight into the complex political history of Northern Ireland, particularly the troubles of violent conflict that lasted from the late 1960s to 1998. Through the eyes of local drivers, you learn about the deep divisions between the Catholic nationalists and Protestant unionists, as well as the murals and sites that mark significant moments in this turbulent period. The tour provides a unique personal perspective on how the city is healing and moving forward from its past. One thing that's definitely important to see is the Peace Wall in Belfast. It is a powerful symbol of the city's turbulent history, built during the Troubles to separate the Catholic nationalists and the Protestant unionist communities. It stretches over 20 feet high and several miles long, and is adorned with murals and messages of hope reflecting the deep political and religious divides of the time. Today it stands as a reminder of Belfast's past conflicts and a testament to the ongoing peace process. From learning about the peace process to the hunger strike that occurred at Maze Prison that brought international attention to the conflict, as well as the bombing at the Europa Hotel, you really see how deep this conflict was and how far the country has come in creating a great place for tourists to feel safe, as well as enjoy and learn about the history so that people can remember what happened here. Truly, Belfast is a vibrant city that you should not skip on your visit to the Emerald Isle. After an insightful tour, it was time to head back to the hotel to get ready for dinner, as well as check out the bar in action. I got a mocktail, and so did my mom as well. Okay, after a long day, we got dressed, and now we're having drinks in the drawing room, which is at the Titanic Hotel. And honestly, it's really cool. They do have like other drinks like the Jack and Rose as like the movie, but we also have some mocktails to choose from. I got the American pie, which had the cinnamon, and my mom got also a nice fruity Swedish drink. Cheers. And then we're gonna go to Home Belfast for dinner tonight. It has been a jam-packed day, but there's honestly so many different things you can do in Belfast, but it was definitely unique to stay here in the Titanic Quarter. There's a lot of different quarters. You can go to the Cathedral Quarter if you're looking for more of a nightlife, and I think that's where we're going out to eat tonight. But for now, I'm gonna have this cocktail, and then we're gonna be on our way to explore more of the city of Belfast by night. For dinner, we headed to Home, a Michelin Bib Gourmand restaurant in Belfast. We're at Home for dinner. I really like that. And the menu here definitely has so many unique combinations of flavors. I ordered 2 starters with my mom that were recommended by the waiter. I'm really excited. One has prawns and scallops on this like toast with a salad, and the guy says it's divine. And then we also got this like short rib hash brown starter. And a nibble, we got some warm sourdough bread with some butter and tapenade until we get our main meal, which I'm getting a really yummy lamb with polenta, as well as some veggies, and my mom's getting sirloin steak. One thing Ireland is good for is meat. I don't know, I love their meat dishes, and who knows what they may have for dessert. But for now, they have a lot of yummy different sodas. I'm gonna try one of those as well. And this place is obviously quite popular. It's pretty busy in here. It is a Monday bank holiday here in Belfast, but it is definitely still pretty packed, even though tomorrow people are supposed to have work. But for now, I'm excited to share with you the dinner at home with my mom. This is the short rib hash brown that we ordered. I mean, I'm really excited to dig in and try this. Let's dig in. Alright guys, so far this hash brown with some short rib, this is really winner. So good, creamy. The food here was a 10 out of 10, and it's just a lovely vibe. We closed out the night and headed back to the hotel, and it was so cool to be able to see the Titanic Museum all lit up green at night. We had an early night because the next day we would be waking up early to start our road trip and head to the Gobbins. Good morning. I'm here at the Wolf Grill Room, and it is where the Chief Draftsman office used to be. And we have a view of the Titanic experience over here. But yeah, I had to wake up super early. We're going to be driving along the coastal route today, and we're going to be heading to the Gobbins, which is a cliff walk at 10 a.m. I have to do this. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours, pretty strenuous, but I'm really excited, and I'm gonna drink a lot of coffee before I start. I'm really excited. It's something historic that's been going on since 1902. Now we're on a little bit more of a sturdier cliff walk, so I'm really excited for that. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy breakfast, ordered an omelet, and had a wonderful sleep here. It's definitely a beautiful hotel, the Titanic Hotel here. And they even have a Titanic channel. So I was watching and learning all about the discovery, the founding, and how they developed the Titanic Quarter, which is absolutely like pretty interesting, and how it brought the whole community together to make this magnificent area that we're in today. But for now, I'm gonna eat and enjoy. After an awesome breakfast at the Titanic Hotel, we began our drive along the Causeway Coastal Route while we drove past Carrick-a-Rede Castle and the Carrick-a-Rede Bridge, which I had done before. I was going to go on another adventure that caught my eye, the Gobbins Cliff Walk.
It's just basically a walk at the base of sea cliffs, okay? I liken it to an Edwardian adventure playground. Okay, so you're going to be following the footsteps of thousands and thousands of people before you. Right. Walk itself doesn't sound very far. It's just over 3 miles really in total. In total there are over 1,200 steps, and they're all hand cut, and I promise you, you won't feel them today at all. You won't even notice it because you're looking at the scenery and stuff, but you will tomorrow morning.
After we got our helmets on and dropped off at the trailhead, it was time to set out on our adventure.
Through the cloud here, you can see Scotland. That's Galloway. That's about probably 20 miles offshore, and normally, you know, as the season progresses in the evening time, we can literally see the cars driving along that. Good day. There's 2 islands here. You can just about make them out. The sun's shining in your eyes here. They're called the Copeland Islands. They're kind of famous for the bird life and that kind of thing. But again, they're kind of spectacular in a way because there's certain times of the year, certain times of the day, and certain conditions they appear to float above the sea. It's an optical illusion.
Wow.
And the guy that wrote Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Dean Swift, he used to live away up towards Carrick-Fergus area, and he would look out his window every day and see these guys, and they were floating. And that's where we get the idea in Gulliver's Travels for the floating islands. Okay, so you know.
Oh. Alright, so now we're on the cliff walk, and you can actually see Scotland across the water from us, which is pretty cool because we got lucky with such a clear day. And yeah, it's actually just really nice right now. As you can see, they have all these bridges that they built that are brand new, but they used to have an old one that's located right there that you can still see. And yeah, it's a guided tour. You come, it's 2.5 hours to 3 hours long. And I'm not going to talk as much to not bother people, but this is definitely a really beautiful area, and you're right below the cliffs at sea level.
See these conditions? That can change in a heartbeat. And I've said, people won't believe this, but I've stood here on this very spot here, and the waves are coming right over.
Wow.
There's been a waterfall coming down through the eye there, and very first year, trailing exercise, I got washed right through that. I hit the freak wave, taking over the railings. Didn't even feel it coming. Whoosh, straight in.
You're like,
oh, I like it.
It's amazing. Like,
oh, it's very pleasurable. I mean, you know,
it's very pretty.
It is, it is.
Do you ever see puffins?
Yeah, we
here?
get puffins down here on the side. We're just waiting now. You will see the bird colonies further along.
Yeah.
Just get everybody catch up here.
Yeah.
Bird colonies further along. We're waiting for puffins to come in any day, so we might see puffin today.
Alright, here we go down in the tunnel into the dark abyss. So where do the spiders, do they normally drop on you?
I can't tell you, we're really twice in a week.
Finally, we reached the end of our cliff walk and had to turn back around, but it was definitely great to see the bird colonies, and I definitely wish we got to see puffins, but that might just have to wait for another day. Back at the visitor center, I joined my mom, looked at some old photos of the Gobbins cliff walk, and had some coffee and, of course, a pastry before hitting the road for another 40-minute drive to our next stop. Alrighty guys, we're driving on the coastal route, and it's definitely interesting. Sometimes there's one-lane road, so you have to wait at a red light so it switches directions on the road. And that's what we're at right now. And by the water the whole time. It's pretty cool. Now we're going to Glenarm Castle. Finally, we arrived to the Glenarm Castle, one of the dreamiest stops along Northern Ireland's Causeway Coastal Route. This is a 17th century estate that isn't just a castle, it's a gateway to the aristocratic past and present living history. With a stunning walled garden and a cool tea room, it is a treat to enjoy this place any time of year, but especially in the spring for the colorful blooms. Alrighty, so along the coastal causeway, we stopped at Glenarm Castle. This has been owned by the same family, the Earl of Antrim, since the 1600s, 1700s. It was built in like around 1632, I think our tour said. And we got to go inside the main hall. You just can't do videography in there or photos, but it's very amazing because they actually still live here a few months out of the year. And they're the McDonaghus, and they were originally, this part of the line comes from Scotland, but yes, they live in London and they live here. Imagine if this was your house. This is nuts. Glenarm Castle's walled garden is well worth the £10 entrance fee. Established in the 1820s, it was originally designed to supply the castle with fresh produce. By the 1930s, the head gardener and his team operated commercially, selling goods at Belfast St. George's Market, and later supported troops during World War II. After a beautiful time, it was time to hit the road again towards Ballycastle, where we would be staying the night in this beautiful seaside town in Northern Ireland at the Salt House. We made it to Ballycastle and we checked into the Salt House. I'm really excited. It's definitely a wellness escape, especially after trying those harrowing roads. I've never driven on the left side of the road, so it definitely was an adventure. But come on inside, let me show you the room. It's definitely very zen. First, we have the restroom, which definitely I like the white marble and the shower. And then we have the main area. There's so much space in this room, which is nice because I'm with my mom. So we have two twin beds, which are separate, so we can have our space. And then there's a desk so I can work. And then we have another table. And if you're wondering if there was a coffee maker, we were too. And they do have a hot water maker. They give you some Cadbury hot chocolate and also some biscuits to go with your tea if you want. Because we are now in the UK actually. In Northern Ireland, it's a part of the United Kingdom. But we didn't have to cross any borders or anything, which was pretty cool. We just drove. And we went then from we went from kilometers to miles per hour, which was definitely interesting. And then what else was another thing that we weren't expecting? Yeah, just like doing kilometers versus miles. That was definitely one of the challenging things for me, renting a car here for the first time in Northern Ireland. But for now, we're getting ready. We're going to be doing a seaweed bath. I've never done that before, but this is what the Salt House is known for. Relaxing zen experience and their spa. So let's go. Guys, so we're in the seaweed bath right now with one of the most epic views probably in Ballycastle, with the cliff right in the background. And yeah, this is pretty interesting. I'm in a seaweed bath. And I guess it's very popular in Ireland because the seaweed off the coast of Northern Ireland is supposed to have some very good qualities for your skin. So they heat up this tub to 40 degrees Celsius, which is quite hot, as you can see from my face. They recommend staying in it for about 15 minutes. And yeah, you get views like this. It's a little overcast, but honestly, it's so beautiful here. And the drive here was absolutely wonderful. After a relaxing afternoon, it was time to grab dinner at the hotel, which I heard was lovely. Alrighty guys, we're here at the Salt House restaurant, and usually there is an amazing view. It's nighttime, but maybe we'll see it in the morning. So I'm excited. We get 3 courses. I'm gonna start off with this like honey chili chicken, non bread. So I'm really excited to see what comes out of the kitchen today. I'm very hungry. We had a long day, and then a relaxing one at the end of it. So we got some Guinness and steak stew, and it looks so yummy. And also this spicy fish, which is a white fish breaded with Parmesan and a unique style of potatoes, Dauphinoise potatoes. I'm probably butchering it, but honestly, I'm really excited to try this. Oh wow, that is so crunchy. And it came out steaming. I feel like I'm gonna burn my mouth. This is good. Now I'm gonna enjoy this. This is definitely a typical meal you should definitely have once while you're in Ireland, because obviously it's big. It might fill you up for a few days. After dinner, I was tired, so I took the dessert to go to the room to wake up early the next morning for breakfast to go on another adventure before going to the Giant's Causeway. Alright guys, we are here heading to the Dark Hedges on some pretty narrow roads, but this is super cool. It's not far from where we stayed at the Salt House, and this is really cool. We just have views for days and got lucky with the weather, and we're only 1 mile now from the Dark Hedges, which was in the Game of Thrones. So right now we're at the Dark Hedges, and it's definitely beautiful, but yeah, kind of a long walk. There's some people here right now. We're here pretty early, like 9:50 in the morning. But yeah, just gonna see what this is all about. It was in the Game of Thrones. It's why it's become famous. We even have a Dark Hedges hotel as well. The Dark Hedges were planted in the 18th century by the Stuart family to create a grand entrance to their Georgian estate Grace Hill House. Over time, these beech trees have grown into a hauntingly beautiful tunnel, now one of Northern Ireland's most photographed and iconic locations, famously featured in the Game of Thrones. Next, we headed a short 23-minute drive to get to the Giant's Causeway. The Giant's Causeway is Northern Ireland's most iconic natural wonder in its breathtaking landscape of over 40,000 interlocking basalt columns formed by volcanic activity and steeped in legendary folklore that you can learn about at the Giant's Causeway Visitor Center. Alrighty guys, we're here at the Giant's Causeway. This was established a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1986. It's been here, and in 2012 they opened the Visitor Center, and you can come visit. There is an extra cost. You can park further away and hike down, but it is just much more easier and more accessible. If you aren't able to hike down, then you can take the buses as well. But they also have the audio guide, and the guy said it works best if you walk down to hear what the audio guide has to say. It automatically goes off and gives you the information. But yeah, earlier today I went to see the Dark Hedges, and I want to rewind a bit there. The Dark Hedges were in Game of Thrones, and they originally were built as this giant dramatic entryway for a family estate, which is pretty darn cool. Right now, it is just such a beautiful day, though. I think we got super lucky with the weather the last 2 days here in Northern Ireland. And yeah, I'm just excited to share with you more of the coastal route. And we'll go see the famous Giant's Causeway. We're here at the Giant's Causeway, and it looks like the tide is coming in because I see the waves keep going further and further up and making the rocks wetter and wetter. But yeah, this is actually pretty nice, less people than I expected. And yeah, you can still get like nice photos and just have your own space on the causeway. Definitely wear shoes with grip. I'm wearing my oboes right now, which are amazing. But yeah, it's nice to have the audio guide as well. But you can still see a lot of the causeway, even if you, like my mom, she can't really walk on slippery stuff or uneven surfaces. But it's been nice to come, and there's a shuttle that brings you down as well. But for now, I'm gonna go head back up to the visitor center and see what they have in store over there. All right, this is so nuts. Literally at every angle, it looks like an optical illusion. And yeah, it just goes on and on. I can't believe, I'm honestly so in shock by the weather we have here. It looks so nice. It's sunny, it's a little bit windy, but this is just so nuts. After exploring, it was time to head back up, and we ended up opting in for the bus ride back to the visitor center. So one reason why you should definitely get the visitor center ticket is because you'll learn a lot. They have an audio guide so you can learn about the causeway as you walk down, but also about the people behind the causeway. And Susanna Drury, I think this is super fascinating. I had never heard of her, but she had actually painted. She came here for 3 months in 1738 and ended up creating some very accurate paintings that ended up drawing a lot of attention. She won an award from the Dublin Society, only £25, but in that time that was a lot. And not only that, she then was able to bring such notoriety to the causeway that it brought scientific interest as well as more visitors, because look how amazing it is. And yeah, I think it's just interesting to see that some of the popularity and the founding and the protection of the Giant's Causeway happened because of a woman. But yeah, for now I'm gonna continue. There's also a movie in here. There's a cafe as well. So I'm gonna go grab a coffee, and then we're gonna hit the road to explore more of the coastal route all the way to Derry Londonderry. Before hitting the road, we decided to grab a quick snack and coffee. All right guys, I got a new adventure hat, but right now we're having the special they have where you get for £6 a cake and a latte or coffee. And this sponge cake, as you can see, we're already devouring it. It looked delicious, is very delicious, as I said. And this is definitely nice to relax after being outside in the kind of cooler weather. But now we're gonna head off and explore more of the coastal route. Just love to play in your already, and we just stopped in front of a pull-off area where you can see Titanic Castle. There's also some waterfalls not far away. It's definitely very dramatic, and there's some walks you can take along the way or run if you're that guy. Very adventurous. But yeah, we're gonna head on off to see more along the coastal route. But honestly, everywhere you drive here is super beautiful, and you're gonna want to stop. Yeah, I need it. Once you Alrighty guys, we're here in front of Dunluce We're here in front of Dunluce Falls. There's so many cute sheep everywhere. They were really nice and let me park in their private lot to come over here, but this is so cool. But I'm gonna leave, head on to the next thing. We got so lucky with the weather. I'm so excited to be here right now. So beautiful, honestly. Can't believe this place exists. We hit the road as we were heading all the way to Derry Londonderry and decided to drive through Bushmills town, where you can go to the legendary Bushmills distillery if that's your thing. But we decided to stop at Dunluce Castle, which is a very famous medieval castle which was featured in Game of Thrones as Castle Greyjoy. Alrighty, so right now I'm at Dunluce Castle, and you can see it was on the sheer cliff, and it's basically been falling apart because of erosion. But there's also a path along here, so I'm gonna go check out and see what there is here quickly. We looked out with the weather. We headed towards White Rocks Beach, which had some stunning viewpoints along the way, and then headed to check out this beautiful beach in Northern Ireland. While the water was cold, we saw people doing horseback riding here and just enjoying long walks on this very wide stretch of sand. Okay guys, now we're at White Rocks Beach and we have such a beautiful day. You can see the cliffs in the window out in the distance, as well as Dunluce Castle all the way up there on the cliff. But this beach is amazing. I just saw a bunch of surfers coming in for the day after surfing. And yeah, the sand here is so nice and the beach is so wide. It's definitely a spot to come even for a walk on the beach if you're not gonna go in the water, because they seem to have wetsuits on. I bet it's pretty cold. Let me know in the comments, would you go swimming here? Maybe in the summer, maybe in August for me at least. After visiting White Rocks Beach in Port Rush, we headed about an hour to get to Derry Londonderry, which is a place that I'd been once before with my mom and was excited to come back because this city is definitely a gem. The first order of business was checking into the historic Bishopsgate Hotel. Alright, we made it to Derry Londonderry and we're at the Bishopsgate Hotel in Derry, and honestly this is beautiful. I'm in the penthouse suite. We have a beautiful fireplace, actually with real wood in it. I wonder if I can ask them to light it up, and a library of books, and my favorite, an espresso, or not an espresso but espresso maker for coffee, which I desperately need, a phone to call down. They have all these historic photos around the whole hotel because we're in one of the most unique cities, I think, in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, because there is a wall surrounding the entire city, and it has retained a lot of its historic charm. And yeah, just the view right now today, we have a lucky day. It's sunny outside, so I'm gonna walk around the wall a little bit to show you guys what I'm speaking about. But this room is awesome. As you can see, I have a lot of bags. But it is a massive room, and this is the bedroom here. Bedroom definitely is awesome. It has a huge king bed, and there's a desk in here. These doors close so you can have privacy. Somebody could watch TV outside here, relax on the couch with a book and a cup of coffee. And let me show you the bathroom as well. There's a bathtub as well, and good lighting, as well as amazing soap and other things that you can use. Shampoo, shower gel, soap. And they even heated the towels for us already. Super excited. Now, time to go and explore the city. Alrighty guys, we just left the Bishopsgate Hotel, which is beautiful. And right now we're at what they call the Diamond, which has the War Memorial in the center. And we're heading to go check out the Derry Girls mural, which I am a huge fan of the show. So I think it's just around the corner. One thing about Derry is there is a lot of art in murals around the entire city. I noticed that's just a way that a lot of people seem to express themselves here, especially after visiting Belfast. There's just literally so much art everywhere, and things seem to close a little bit early here. A lot of the shops, it's 6 p.m. right now and they seem to be closed, but I'm sure pubs will be open, and we're going to grab dinner at a really celebrated restaurant in the city, Pike and Palm. So I'm excited for that as well. All right, and now we are in front of the Derry Girls mural, and yes, I'm a super fan of the show. I even watched it on the plane ride over here. But it's definitely very indicative of all their personalities here, and it's right by the wall. So behind me you can see there's the Martin McCrossan tours, and they do a walking tour for £6, and you can actually do it for free with the Visit Derry pass. I have a Visit Derry VIP pass, and it's good for 2 days, and it allows you to go to different museums like the Tower Museum, the Siege Museum, as well as the Free Derry Museum, and it makes it just like more economical. You can see a lot, so you can see more of Derry and yeah, not pay as much money doing it. And this area is pretty cool. We're right outside the walls heading to see the Derry Girls mural. Me and my mom are both fans of Derry Girls, so we had actually come to Derry before the show really came out, or before we watched it, or it took off, and we love Derry, so I'm just excited to be here again. After checking out the Derry Girls mural, we headed to go walk along the city's walls. Alright, right now I'm on top of Bishopsgate, at the top of Bishopsgate Street. The Bishopsgate Hotel is on the street and everything, but I'm on the Derry Londonderry historic walls. This is a walled city, and it's the most complete walled city in all of Ireland. They built the walls between 1613 and 1618, and they stand at 8 meters high, 26 feet high, and it is definitely something magnificent to behold. You can see the bogs back here. If you watch Derry Girls, that's where they lived, and a lot of the show was actually filmed. And yeah, I just think it's like absolutely stunning that this wall like still exists, and you can come and walk around the entire 1 mile entirety of it. But yes, this is an amazing view. We're at such a height over here. You can see a few of the different churches here. The St. Columb steeple is right here. The courthouse, as well as the Diamond Square and War Memorial, that you basically see all the major gates. But let's go walk around the wall. Next, we headed to Pike and Palm for dinner, and it is a must for food lovers. They serve up creative, locally sourced street food with a twist. Definitely check it out when you're in town. Alright guys, right now I'm in Pike and Palms. This place used to actually be a street food truck, and they were out of a shipping container, and they pay homage to that. I actually like having part of it, I think, in here as well. But this place is known for their burgers, so I got the Smash Road Burger, and I'm really excited to try it. It's a double patty with pickled brisket on it, chipotle mayo and cheese, and some other like pickled onions as well. But this place is located in a pretty bustling area, actually. We saw a lot of people walking around, and the restaurant is very like, you know, you see some street art, you see the bricks and some graffiti, and it's definitely a really like hip place. And for a drink, I got their house-made lemonade, and it has like some jalapeno spice to it. Definitely good. Oh my gosh, first up we have these pulled brisket taco, a sweet potato taco, and the squid taco, which was recommended by our server, and I'm really excited. They also brought for my brisket taco this here, so I'm going to dig in and try this. Here we go. Okay, so guys, I got a homemade brownie, and they even put these like honeycombs on it, and there's some honeycomb ice cream as well. It looks super good. I'm gonna dig right in. Finally, after a great dinner and a cup of tea, we headed to Peter O'Donnell's, a local pub, to check it out. But we were super tired, so we decided to just head back to the hotel for our last morning in Northern Ireland. While it was our last day in Northern Ireland, we were going to be doing the Wild Atlantic Way in Ireland after this. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. Good morning. We're just walking to go to the Derry Girls experience, which is at the Tower Museum. And we don't have a long time in Derry, but we got to see the wall, as well as drive around a bit and see some of the murals, like the Free Derry mural and the other, the mural for the Derry Girls. And after watching some Derry Girls last night, now we're heading to go to the Tower Museum, where you can see the Derry Girls experience as well. I was excited to finally see the Derry Girls experience, where fans can step into scenes from the hit show and see the Tower Museum, which brings Derry Londonderry's rich history to life through some exhibits. Definitely cool that it's included in the pass. Alrighty guys, right now I'm here at the Derry Girls experience. It's an exhibit that's located at the Tower Museum. Here you can see it's like really cool and interactive. You can sit here on the couch in Erin's living room and see Erin's kitchen and learn some fun facts. See some props from the set. Alright guys, this is the Guildhall. It's right outside of the city walls that are 400 years old. And this was built in the late 1800s. And as you can see, it's quite impressive. There's stained glass windows surrounding the entire assembly hall for the city of Derry. And there's this giant organ, which is magnificent. They actually have the biggest clock on the tower in all of Ireland and the second biggest in the British Isles, second to probably, I'm guessing, Big Ben in London. But yeah, it's definitely beautiful and worth to see, and it's free. They also have an exhibit downstairs you can visit, and it is definitely a unique place. And the square outside is definitely really nice for a photo. But for now, we're gonna head on off. We have to drive all the way back to Dublin, a short and quick trip to Derry Londonderry. But I have been here before. I did the Bogside tour and visited some of the other sites as well. But it's definitely a beautiful experience to come here and learn about the history, as well as see some of the beautiful nature that lies just outside of Derry Londonderry. And that's a wrap on the epic journey along Northern Ireland's Causeway Coastal Route. From historic castles to breathtaking landscape, this road trip is truly one for the books. Want more details? Check out my blog in the description below, and don't forget to subscribe. Next up, I'm taking you on a van life and glamping adventure along the Wild Atlantic Way. See you in the next one.